What's up, y'all? Jeffery and Jeffery TV coming to you live from the ultimate remote location. Does that look like it's clean? Look like that smudge. Hold on. All right, is that better? Yeah, that's much better, huh? I'm holding with my left hand today. Protect my right elbow. Jeffery and Jeffery TV coming to you live from the ultimate remote location. Route 7. Also known as Market Street, walking south towards Route 224 in the Southern Park Mall, my default route when I'm back here. The last work day of this 2-week stint that I have done here in the ultimate remote location. I just want to say I love this place. I love this place, and I must, and I have to say, and I do have to say, add to that statement that, of course, I thought it was pretty prophetic, and a deep statement, and a very good way to put it. I'm kind of proud that I thought of it that way, but I love being from Youngstown. I love being from Youngstown, Ohio, being from this place right here. I just love it. And I really don't want to say it or emphasize the point that the from part is important. Because if I was still here, I probably wouldn't feel the same way. This is just me, Jeffery Mitchell. Because everybody knew, and I knew, growing up, as soon as I got a chance, I was gone. It was just evident in my personality, things I did, you know, how quote unquote smart I was. And I just realized too, you know, talking and listening to people, that, you know, I knew I was smart, but I really wasn't sure how other people thought about if I was smart or not. And it's becoming evident that, you know, through conversation, remarks, that people always saw me as being the brainiac, the smart kid, you know, the smart one. And I was watching, what was I watching yesterday? Oh, Red Fox. Red Fox did an old interview. And he was talking about, you know, how he, coming up, how he got into comedy, when he did this, he did that. And he said, and they asked him, would you recommend comedy for anybody? And he said, no. You know, because it's a hard road. And he actually said, you know, you can get into other things or something. And he said electronics. Now this was an old interview. This was like way back, probably in the 70s or something. And the way he said electronics, and to see, you know, the old film footage, and the way he referred to electronics sent me back to where I remember thinking the same thing. You know, electronics, when I got my first crystal radio set and I discovered electronics, and it was on. You know, ever since then, you know, I have found what could be a career. It was new and upcoming. And just the way he said electronics, in the vein that it's up and coming, it's the future, you know, that there's opportunity to get into that. And it was only what he mentioned. He said, yeah, you know, you could probably get into something else like electronics. Just the way he said it sent me back to where I got into it. I went to high school, Took my first formal class. Learned Ohm's law. Had to get a toolkit and an ohm meter. Started learning all that in the 9th grade. Formally. I've been do it yourself and studying on my own, for years. And got to high school and was able to get something formal in it. And I guess I want to tie that back into being smart and to seem to always have a bigger scope or view or desire out of life than a lot of people around me. There was no doubt I was leaving. Now, there was doubt if I was gonna make it, even with me. I went to Columbus, 2 years at DeVry, because I flunked the trimester, and it wasn't because I wasn't smart, it was because I wasn't applying myself. Got with these DC niggas, learned about go-go and other things. These is dudes who had been through a lot more than I had been through. Roughly the same age. But their life, mine was sheltered compared to theirs. And they taught me how to come home, get your homework done first, and then start drinking. Yeah, it goes back in high school, I used to drink. I used to drink some of the cheapest beer ever, too. But high school, college, because in my mind, it was one or the other. You either drank and got drunk after work, or you didn't. It didn't hit me in my mind that you could actually do both. You hear that? Scared me. That you could actually do both. I was like, oh, okay, come home. And we would all sit down and get our work done. And I remember Eric saying, no, none of this until we get our stuff done. Because they had to study. They had to study and work, where I kind of didn't. I was always smart enough to skate by without really applying myself to the work. But they needed to study and focus and learn the stuff. So they had to set time away before they started the shenanigans every night. And I learned that. I was like, oh, I can do both. Finished up DeVry, went home for a few months, and got on a bus to California. I love this place, Youngstown, Ohio. I love visiting, the place from where I came. I love the roots and the culture that I believe came from growing up here. The weather, the humidity, the rain. I don't know so much about the snow anymore. The snow and the cold, even though it's like 47, 50 degrees here, and it feels warm compared to how cold it was when I got here. I think I've become acclimated It doesn't feel cold. And in fact, I might be overdressed to a degree. I might be overdressed to a degree. And I kind of did it on purpose to get a sweat. Because I woke up this morning and Mr. Scale told me 219.6 or something like that. And that is very good considering. That is very, very good considering. Still got 25 pounds to lose to get down to 195. But definite progress. But pretty much the same progress that I make on every Friday after a work week. It's these next 2 days being off that's gonna get me. And with tomorrow being a travel day, that might help. Tomorrow being a travel day, and I don't get home till 11. I should be able to get my steps in the airport. Get a bunch in the airport. And then hopefully yeah, I'm gonna have to get a bunch in the airport. So I don't wanna come home and have to get a bunch in to make that 10K. And I don't wanna just say, forget it. And then Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday, I can figure out how we're gonna work that situation. The Sundays are the days I usually don't get them in. And if I can behave reasonably, according to my diet, that would be a big help. But I love this place. I love looking at the Midas muffler that I'm looking at now. That I remember. The signs. The non-renovated buildings that show use and wear and experience. Nostalgic. It's like a lot of this place is like a throwback to the era in which I grew up. That's probably another reason why I love it so much. A lot of it is pretty much just as it was. Or, not too updated, not completely. In California, everything, it's like everything, every 10 years, everything is torn down and rebuilt. New, modern. And Boardman is kind of like that. Even though I'm in Boardman now, technically I'm in Boardman. When I get out, when we get to 224, these people don't look at all. These people don't look at all. You walk by, he didn't see me at all. You see that? And it ain't the first time. That ain't the first time. He didn't see me at all. And if he did, he just figured, oh well. And I don't think it's a racial thing. It may be a big black man thing, not so much racially, but more like, oh, he can handle it. And you'll probably think that's racial too, to some degree. That's probably a form of racism. Everything is a form of racism if you really look hard enough. But they figure, oh, that big black man, he ain't worried about it. As opposed if I was a little white old lady, they may or may not give me more room. And in saying that, that which they give to me or see me as can go both ways. Sometimes when I walk in that room, you say people grab their purse or whatever. That works both ways. Sometimes you want that. You want to walk in there and be that guy everybody's looking at, Sometimes you not want it, but you can use it. You know, have everybody look up and think of you in a certain manner. That same grabbing their purse translate to different feelings to different people. Not sure why I went down that street. Oh yeah, I got it, because people be cutting me off. When I be walking, they be cutting me off. I mean, like, zooming in front of me. But they don't look at you. They won't look at you. They act like they don't see you. Or a lot of them don't. Whereas if I'm in LA, these folks be like, they'll stand, they'll pull away, or stop 20, 30 feet from me, obnoxiously. You know, they don't, that pedestrian thing in LA is a whole different beast than here. Completely different beast. I love this place. I love Youngstown, Ohio. So much of it. Like, I'm looking at the sandwich factory. Looks like the same store marquee that was there when I was growing up. I don't know if you can see that, but the strip mall place that it's a part of may have been painted. They still got the style. Can I call it a 70s style? What kind of style, you know? I wouldn't quite call it a 70s style, I don't think. Let me see if I'm even in the picture. If I hold it like this. Yeah, that's not too bad. Now look at the building, the architecture. I was averaging taking over 170 pictures each walk. I put the phone on the selfie stick, but I don't have it set up to take pictures of me. I have it set up to take pictures forward. And then I got the button on the stick, so I can just point and shoot. Click, 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 click. Had to show you. And I'm able to get it done that way. So I can take hundreds of pictures easily. You know, they ain't gotta worry about holding the camera. They got pretty much steady camera. Making sure I hit the button. It's all convenient. Point and shoot. I do love this place. I just wanted to say that. I do love this place. And this place right now has the best weather. Now she stopped the right way. She saw me and stopped. Of course, the light was red. And she don't look like she's making a right turn, but she stopped. And the weather here is better than all the other places of significance in my life, quote unquote. LA, better than LA weather. The thing today said it was 62 degrees in Cleveland. Pulled the weather up here, said 54 degrees. That's better. See, this cat just kept right in front. They just don't stop. See that shit? He just didn't stop. Looked right at me and didn't slow down. Looked right at me and kept going. Saw me coming. Wasn't thinking about stopping. Back here, cars got the right of way. And I'm starting to learn that. It happens too much. It happens too much. It's like I'm driving. I can't stop. You stop. I don't see how you kept right. But it's Youngstown. It's kind of how we roll. And when I'm out in California, sometimes I brag about how tough people are back here and how racial things are and the directness and how things are handled and the mentality and the dispositions of the people. and sometimes the simplicity. You know, life is simple back here. It's on a different, it's a different experience, a different culture. And then you got winters that where people have grown accustomed to staying in the house for 3 months and not seeing the sun for 3 months. So they got their houses really accommodating and laid out. Because they know come winter, you know, ain't nobody trying to go out at night. Ain't even no sitting on the porch. So they set things up to be home. My place, you know, is set up for comfort, but it's basically like an office, office or a studio. You know, that, you know, I sleep there and I live there, but, and it's a home, though it doesn't feel like the homes I see out here. And I don't mean like in size, just the build, just the makeup of it. Just the way it's laid out. When I lived in Azusa, when I had a condo in Azusa, I had something set up like that. But I found out, I set up like a computer hutch in my bedroom. And I found out that's where I'm at all the time. I'm never in the living room. So I was like, oh, I might as well make the living room the studio. Or set my stuff up in the living room. You know, forget the couch and the, you know, people come over and hosting area, dining area. When I got my condo, I was still in that traditional way of thinking. And I actually had a dining area, dining table, never used it. Never, not even when the kids came, nobody sat at that table. Very rarely, I don't think I ever used that damn dining room table. And them chairs, dinette set. And the couch, TV, stereo in the living room. Just got dust on it. So when people come over, I'm like pretty much scrambling. Well, scrambling might be too big a word, but I'm pretty much running around trying to get a place for them to sit. And it makes me feel, it makes me feel a comfortable degree. People come over and I'm worried about how comfortable they are. I'll tell you this though. People come over and they'll sit down in that old nasty recliner of mine. I mean, not that it's nasty. I just eating that thing. So there may or may not be food. Here come a truck. I bet you he don't stop. Oh, he did. Look at that. Nope. Is he even looking? Yeah, the way it makes sure. Kind of pull up. They pull up way up to that. They pull way up to that line. And I'm looking. They sit in that old chair. I'm like, ew. I don't go ew, but I'll be like, oh. Because it is comfortable. And I'll tell you something else too. I had an old nasty recliner. It was comfortable as hell. It was broken in, it's comfortable. I bought a new one. You gotta break these things in. It probably takes years to break them in. And I probably don't sit in it enough. But I'm just barely able to get myself to be comfortable in the damn thing. I bought one of my mother's. It felt so good, I bought another one when it went on sale again. But I just don't fit in it like the one, my old one that I threw away, that I had probably for 20 years. So I'm thinking about, I just had a thought about the rest of the day. I'm watching granddaughter, and my daughter gets to sleep. My daughter called and saying she might drop granddaughter off to me on the walk so she can get home and get a little bit of rest because she worked overnight. That's good. There's somebody walking. You're like a black female walking their dog. Wow, somebody else out here. You don't see too many pedestrians out here. People just walking. This is not necessarily a fitness culture. Probably because a lot of these people traditionally have worked so hard that there's no need for extraneous exercise. I just threw that word in there. There's no need for added exercise. This life is changing, especially with me with my desk job. Not even desk job. Yeah, I guess you call it desk job. I'm on the phones all the time. Sitting down. They try to give you a stand-up desk or a wireless headphone. Get a stand-up desk or a wireless headphone. I just had another thought. See, I'm thinking about my day, what I gotta do to prepare to leave, things I'm thinking about, and my job is sending me to New York. And I gotta book that travel. That just went through my head. So my mind is starting to wander and it's starting to do life maintenance and administration. To get ready, jump on that plane tomorrow, get back at 11 p.m. Probably won't get home till like 1. And I'll have probably won't be able to sleep on the plane. I'm gonna tell you what else I'm gonna do about the plane. I ain't gonna eat like an idiot. Tell you that now. Might not eat at all. Tell you that now. I ain't gonna eat like an idiot. Last time I got sick in doing that. And I don't get on the plane till 8 p.m. So I'm not quite sure how I'm gonna do it. But I know I ain't gonna do it like I did last time. Live and learn, life experience. Learn from experience. That's what we got. Learn from experience. That's what we got in life. 61 years old. I'll be 62. Get myself together. Finally. No, I can't say that. I've been doing good. That'd be a bit too dramatic. I've been doing really, really good. Let's face it. Even though I strive for the unattainable perfection, the idea of perfection, because whatever we are at any given time, we are perfect. We are where we're supposed to be. There is no ought to be, only subjective. We think what we ought to be, or we think we might want to be, or we think what we might should be. But for the most part, we are what we are. And quite possibly, and probably even more than just quite possibly, that's what we're meant to be. If there's a such thing as meant to. Meaning is man-made. Meaning is man-made. Man invented meaning. Meaning. A lot of other creatures on this planet don't have meaning. Maybe other developed and civilized cultures in the universe, maybe even more civilized than us, may or may not have meaning, or developed, or not civilized, but civilized is another word that is probably human specific, human subjective, and human determined and defined. Anyway, swinging on y'all. Swinging on y'all. 2 times. For me, for the phone. And for every elementary particle that's ever existed, any atom in this or in the universe that ever was, is, or will be, a totality of it all, theory of universe. Hypothesis of all is one. My name is Jeffery.